what's up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go to bigherc916.com, pick you up some merch, and represent. And grab a bar of soap while you're at it so you can wash your ass. You remember me telling you that food is freedom? And inside prison, food is one of the most powerful commodities. The guy who owns the store outside of the commissary who sells food to other inmates to keep them, going while they're trying to make it to next door day. The food that's served in the cafeteria that people have to eat that don't have the money to buy food from the commissary. It's just a real powerful commodity, and when the food is bad, the inmates strike. And so the first line of self-preservation, food, once you have food in your stomach, you can focus on what you need to do to survive. Without food, everything else goes out the window. You're not worried about reproducing. You're not worried about shelter. You got to get some food in your stomach in order to make it to the next day. Well, U.S. approves the sale of lab-grown chicken. The Agriculture Department granted approval to cultivate meat producers for the first time in the United States, representing a watershed moment for the alternative protein industry. See, they act like it's something great. Watershed moment for the protein industry.
The age of lab-grown meat has arrived in this country. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal egg or a special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a restaurant in San Francisco and another one in Washington, D.C.
This is what you've called a slaughterless house.
Oh, yes, yeah.
The equipment looks like a commercial brewery, but it's not beer they're making.
So that's where it all starts, just a few cells.
It's meat.
So you're making meat in here.
Yes.
But I don't see any animals and I don't see any animal parts.
Well, that's the trick, right?
Stainless steel bioreactors or cultivators produce real meat from animal stem cells.
You're making chicken in there.
Yeah, so if you look at this is approximately a 200 plus liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg.
Dr. Uma Valetti is a cardiologist who founded Upside Foods, taking on a food chain as old as time. The potential to exponentially expand the food supply has attracted top-tier investors like Bill Gates, Richard Branson, and Whole Foods founder John Mackey. President Biden is also on board, signing an executive order to support cultivating alternative food sources.
Yeah, it's a watershed moment, all right. It's going to watershed your health to shit. You know, synthetic, these chemically induced, these food with all these different additives to it, they're killing you from the inside out. They're killing us from the inside out. Now you got to look in the grocery store to make sure it doesn't have that sticker on it that it came from one of the genetically altered farms that Bill Gates is producing. Because the fruit now doesn't have all the nutrients it has in it. Do you know that they don't even allow a lot of the countries in Europe to import United States food, especially the beef and the fruit? Even though they're dealing with their own bullshit, they know that our food over here has been altered so bad it's not healthy for their people. And I don't know if they really care because they're doing other things, but man, lab-grown meat. They want us to get rid of the cows, the farms, because they're saying the cows are farting and it's infecting the atmosphere. And then they wanted you to not have real chickens. They want everything artificial. For what purpose? Because eventually we could break down your body to where it only lasts, 30, 40 years. So we'll get a good work cycle out of you and you're dead. No Social Security. Don't have to worry about giving you no pensions. We don't need you to live outside of your working capacity. That's what I look at long range. You call me conspiracy theories. You can tell me tinfoil hat, whatever you want to say, but food is destructive. It can be used as a weapon. The Agriculture Department approved the production and sale of laboratory-grown meat for the first time on Wednesday, clearing the way for 2 California companies that sell chicken produced from animal cells. It will likely be years before shoppers can buy lab-produced meat in grocery stores, but the government's decision will eventually allow the sale of lab-produced meat across the state lines after passing federal inspection. The decision is a milestone for companies making cell-grown meat along with consumers looking for alternatives to chicken bred in a factory farm and slaughtered. Yeah, so go with the chemical meat, go with the artificial meat, go with the lab-grown meat. It's like the Beyond Meat, cooks up like meat, smells like meat, tastes like meat, but it ain't meat. And people are excited about that. Why not have the real thing? Or if you're not going to eat meat, why pretend that you are? When I go and I travel and I visit places and look at the demographic and I look at the health of those individuals in that area, and then I look at the grocery stores in those areas of those people and a representation of their health. Man, it's quite alarming. I remember going to Detroit and I was in a particular part of town and I was asking somebody, I'm like, man, where do you buy your groceries at? And they pointed to the store that sold their groceries in that particular area. And this area was not too far from where Crunk Gym used to be located. I can't remember the area, but if you're from Detroit, you'll know. And you could look it up. But, dude, it was horrible. And the health of the people that I've seen from my own personal observation was not good. It's funny how nutrition and things like that can affect a population. It's like having clean drinking water. Very valuable commodity. Quality meat that's, not been sprayed with things to make it look like it's fresh or quote unquote organic. There's definitely something going on, man, with the food industry, and for you to think that approving lab-grown meat is something great. Yeah, it's great for the shareholders of that company, but as far as for the person thinking long term, just think about it, man. I'm just saying, man, when you're putting it's like drinking Kool-Aid every day. It doesn't seem bad. You're a kid, you're drinking Kool-Aid, enjoying the sugar flavor with the chemical colored water. But over a period of time, most of those people become diabetic. They have maybe high blood pressure or some type of other issue with their health. Have you been to some of these places where people eat these kinds of foods, these processed foods, where whether it be hot dogs or just shit cereals, all these sugar cereals? Bodies are beat up. It might, when you're young, you can process some of that stuff. You think you're still all right because you can run and play. Look at those people in their 40s, 30s, 40s. They're tore up, man. With the diet, your diet is your most important it's your most important foundation for yourself, man, is what you consume. But you can choose to consume what you want. I'm just sharing, and I started reading labels when I was probably 14, 15 of different foods, and it came from reading Muscle and Fitness magazine and learning about nutrition. And then as I got older, I tried to watch what I consumed. And I don't eat everything perfectly, but then when I got to prison and I had to deal with that, and I'm looking at, man, what are my alternatives? I had to make a lot of sacrifices, man. There was times I was super hungry because I just couldn't eat the food, and I knew that a lot of the stuff in there was garbage. So I spent a lot of my little hustle money I made in prison trying to buy food from people who stole food from the kitchen so that I can get at least a decent diet while I was in there. But the top ramen, all the canned tuna, the beef sticks, the squeezed cheese, the potato chips, the soda pops. That a lot of these guys, a lot of these inmates, that's all they were living off of, was soda pop, top ramen, beef sticks, canned meat, soda pop, just very starchy, high sodium, and over a period of time, man, a lot of that stuff, it just destroys you from the inside out. It just destroys you. But hey, man, that's Big Herc, man. I'm just sharing with you guys. You do what you do. I'm not knocking you if you want to be a non-meat eater, if you want to be a vegan or vegetarian or whatever the case may be. I'm just telling you to be conscious of what you consume, because your body has to process and break these things down. And when you start looking at what a lot of this stuff converts into, these fake cheeses, these fake meats, it's not healthy and can be toxic to your organs and other bodily functions. Motivation, positivity.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass Soap, and this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub, but I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts, and all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to BigHerc916.com, you can pick you up a bar, and my goal is to help America combat funk. Go to the Herc store at BigHerc916.com and pick you up a bar of soap so you can wash that ass, or pick you up some Never Settle for Average merch or some of the Muscleup Car Lifestyle merch. We have hats, Never Settle for Average, got the Muscleup t-shirts. We also have the Never Settle for Average tank tops. Got the Muscleup Car Lifestyle hoodies. Got the beanie caps. Hey man, represent. And I know you guys aren't average, so pick you up some swag and step your game up. Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.